So good evening, you absolute legends. It's 4 minutes past 9 on the 21st of August, 2023. We've sorted out the tech as usual. We always have a few little hiccups to begin with before I start the stream off properly. I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you're watching on the replay or you're listening on the replay, please drop me a tweet or a post, as it's now probably called, on X, formerly known as Twitter, at ActOnThisTV. If you're watching this on the replay on YouTube, leave a comment. If you watch it on the replay on Facebook, leave a comment, leave a hashtag replay. I always go back and look at the comments that are being left, so do leave them. I would love to read them and give you a little reply or a shout out. If I can help, I'll leave a question. Maybe I can answer that for you as well. Those people who are here tonight live really means the world. I'll give you a little shout out again. We've got Sandra in the house, Josh is here, Alex is here, Zoe is here, who's just signed with a new agent. Well done, Zoe. Natalie's in the house. Mark is here, who's just landed his first TV role, which is amazing. Nick's in the house. Who else have we got? Sandra said, what are you saying there, Sandra? I missed that comment. Facebook always makes them go by so fast. She had an amazing weekend meeting old friends at a festival. Today you said you're feeling a bit down, Sandra. Never getting any answers from casting directors, but I keep on trying and sending emails. Of course, got to just keep on trying. I was speaking to a director today who's going to be one of our guests on ActOnThis.tv for one of our member-only sessions next week. A really, really good, top TV director at the top of his game, a guy called Diarmuid Goggins, legend. Really, really great guy. He's responsible for directing loads of stuff. He did Witness Number 3 for Netflix, Amazon smash hit Kin, was the lead director on Silent Witness for a long time, is just about to release a brand new drama for Channel 5 called The Night Caller, starring Robert Glenister. Doing stuff at the top of his game, but he was saying, even now, he's a hustler, and he's still, having to network, send emails out, send his reel out, in order to gain opportunities. And he said back in the day, obviously before he'd had any of that, Sandra, some weeks he was sending 150 emails out and getting 2 replies. It's just the nature of the game for this industry, but you only need one reply. You don't need any more than that, because that one reply could change the game for you. So keep going. Ashley, good evening. Thanks for being here. Sophia's in the house. Not seen you for a while. Sophia, thanks for being here. Terry is here as well. Alex said it's always going to be called Twitter. It's always going to be called Twitter for me as well, mate. Honestly, I can't get used to calling it X. It just does not seem right. Ben, how you doing? Ben Wolf's just joined as well. Natalie said she had a lovely email from the BBC. Didn't get into the Norman Beaton Fellowship, but they want to... Oh, now it's gone. What do they want to do? They want to have a meeting, an audition later this year with a view to employ me as a freelancer. Natalie, that's amazing. Every, little, you might have got a little no there, but that's a step closer to the yes that could work out better for you down the line. So thank you everybody for joining me. If you are watching the replay, like I say, leave me some good news in the comments. That would mean the world. Got loads to discuss tonight, and I was just saying before we went live to those people in the lobby that I just need some feedback and some help from you guys tonight. Members of ActOnThis.tv, non-members, doesn't matter. I want your feedback. Oh, hang on a minute. The screen's probably just gone black. Let me have a look. It's because it's not selected my browser. Hang on a second. It's all going to go a bit weird for a sec. But now we should be all right. The bloody tech tonight is mental. Right, I've just gone over to ActOnThis.tv. This is the site that I've been running for the last 13 years for those people who might have just stumbled across this video, or maybe the audio of this on the ActOnThis.tv audio experience. I'm just going to go over just to the preview section. Every week, basically, we sit down on this website with our members, and we sit down with a top casting director, agent, actor, writer, director, producer, the best people in TV, ultimately chewing the fat on how you can have more success in this industry. Last week was no exception. If my internet speeds up, there you go. This was a wicked session. What do you think of this if you were here live? We had star of ITV's The Bay, Andrew Dowbiggin, a fantastic actor, plays James Clarky Clark on ITV's The Bay. His story getting into this show was amazing. And Sandra, you just said you've been sending emails out and not getting a reply. I don't know if you saw this session. If you didn't, you should go and watch it, because this is a real tale of tenacity, a tale of not accepting no for an answer. And he actually got this role in The Bay. I'll come back on camera for a sec, and I'll play a little clip of this out as well. Through not getting a part on The Bay. So it's difficult. Difficult to explain, but basically he was asked to go for just a guest little character. I think in one episode of the first season of The Bay. I think it was one episode. Maybe it was more than that. I'm not sure. But it was, just a guest role, basically. He was going to be in and out. It wasn't a regular role. He didn't get that gig, but he knew he did a really, really good audition. And although he knew he'd done a really good audition, he didn't hear anything for a month. And he was like, by that point, feeling pretty dejected, a bit down, like, oh God, am I ever going to get anything? Like, what's going on? And then his agent phoned out the blue and was like, listen, you know what? You haven't got that part, sorry, but how would you feel about doing a small policeman role on it? 2 scenes. Just 2 scenes, literally it. So it's smaller than the role he initially went for that was only a guest anyway. And he went, yeah, all right, I'm down for that. That's going to be pretty good. Did his 2 scenes. Ultimately, the rest is history. Whatever happened in those 2 scenes, the director, the writer, Dara, must have seen something in that performance that made them go, hang on a minute, we can make this character bigger. He's now been in every season ever since. And we're on season 5. So he's ended up with 5 seasons of this show because he didn't get a small role that he was initially up for. And if he had got it, he absolutely wouldn't have gone on to get this role. So sometimes you can only connect the dots looking backwards, can't you? You can't go, oh no, I've not got this part. That means my life's screwed. No, it's not. I've spoiled the whole story there because I've just told you it all. But here it is in Andrew's own words. There's a little bit of what you missed. It was a 2-hour deep dive into Andrew's career. And ultimately just, what it takes mindset-wise to keep going. The full replay is in the members area right now. If you don't have an Act on This membership, it's worth getting one just for this chat. Actors, if you are looking to crush it in top TV drama this year, and there is still time, right, and you're prepared. All the tech's going weird tonight. I played the trailer. Here's the mashup. I'm literally losing it. Star of so many top TV shows, including Silent Witness, ITV's Scylla, Sky's Cobra, and of course, you're going to know him best as DS James Clarky Clark from ITV's smash hit The Bay. It's Andrew Dowbiggin in the house. If there's one actor you've worked with in all those shows who's taught you the most, who would that be?
Dan Ryan.
I knew you were going to say Dan. I love Dan. He's great.
Hero.
So we're going to reverse engineer this, basically, Andrew. We're going to look at the road to the Bay. You're 29 years old. You're working in construction and steel, and suddenly you go, "I'm going to be an actor."
I think I always wanted to be an actor, but
right.
couldn't seem to get the opportunity or couldn't find the way through. It's a need more than a want, actually.
Right.
Because if you want to do it, don't do it. If you need to do it, you will. I've done the jobs I needed to do in order to survive in an industry which never promised me anything.
Where did this audition come from in the first place? Where did you find out about it? How did you prepare for it? What was it like? And what do you think you did in it that got you the job?
It was actually for a guest role in series 1, which wasn't Clarky. You know when you walk out of an audition and you feel, I've made them think about me, and I didn't hear anything for a month. My agent called and said, you didn't get it. Oh, okay. But they would like to know if you'll consider a small policeman role. Then you got 2 scenes. Lo and behold, in those 2 scenes, something must have happened. And then they said, oh, they'd like you to come back.
Long time no see. Filthy, I haven't done anything. Then why'd you run?
Dealing with the pressure and the stress, but also trying to enjoy yourself, because, obviously it's the biggest thing that I've done.
You'll always feel pressure, I know you will. And because it's a big responsibility, but somebody believes in you. Somebody trusts you. So back yourself. You believe in yourself. You're good enough to get there. You do whatever it will take to get you there. Be open, be honest, be courageous, be kind to yourself.
Unlock the full 2-hour session with Andrew Dowbiggin there over on actsonthis.tv. If you get your membership, you literally unlock it instantly, and you'll get invites to join us for sessions like that every single week that I guarantee, if you take action on, that's why it's called Acts on This, it will put you leaps and bounds ahead of the competition, because you're ultimately just getting from the horse's mouths the inside track. So, do check that out. And I can see people in the chat saying that they love that session. Honestly, it was just it's just the reality of this industry. You can feel like it's all going to shit and like nothing is happening and nothing is going your way. and then literally out of the blue, when you least expect it, every single thing can change in an email, a phone call, a heartbeat. So you've got to just freaking stay in the game, basically, because there are people, and I say this every week, people woke up this morning who decided to quit yesterday. They're no longer in the game, and that's across every age group, every bracket, sometimes actors think age goes against them. The higher up the age brackets you go, even more people decided to quit yesterday because they just can't hack it. So stay strong, stay hungry. Anything could happen this week. Alex said, did a self-tape today for a short film, which came out of the blue. Here you go, look. Came out of the blue through someone I know. As you always say, Ross, your success in this industry is predicated on the quality of your relationships. 100% is. Honestly, try and reach out to people this week you've not had a conversation with before. It can just be literally, a thread of two tweets. They're not even called tweets anymore. 2 posts on X, formerly known as Twitter, that will always be Twitter for us, Alex. Reach out to someone on LinkedIn, drop an email to a casting director you haven't spoken to before, introduce yourself, just start to nurture relationships, and don't go all in for the kill and just drop somebody, a tweet like, here's my reel, give me a job. It's bullshit. They're instantly just going to be turned off. Start to actually, dedicate time into your relationships in life across the board, not even the acting industry. Your entire life will get better when you start adding value to other people's lives. So just look where you can do that this week. Honestly, magical things begin to happen. Sophia said, I love this session. It was the full session that she was there live for. Yeah, honestly, it was really, really good. But if you weren't there live, go catch up on it over the next couple of days. We've got a fantastic live session for members of ActsOnThis.tv coming this Thursday night with 2 Oscar winners. I'll tell you about that in a minute. It's going to be a really, really good session and something we've never, ever spoken about before. Mark, this is a fascinating story. He says, I was a soldier in the Yorkshire Regiment, then went into armed security. Wow, armed security. Then decided 8 months ago, I guess you're saying there, to try acting, and it's been such an amazing adventure so far and gets better and better. Mark really reminds me of one of our members on ActsOnThis.tv. I'll quickly just go over to the site, mate. I don't know if you're a member or not, but if you're not, it's worth just getting a month's membership just for this. You'll want to stay, though. If you get a month, you'll just be in. Click onto the preview feature section at the top here, Mark. Type into this box, Jeram, Jeram. Hit enter, and you're going to want to watch this session. Come on, internet. My internet's slow when I'm streaming, mate. Sorry. You want to watch this session that will come up. It says you're only one audition away with BBC's Granite Harbour actress Michelle Jeram. Michelle was in the police force, mate, for 28 years, I think. She had a bit of a fight ultimately with a bit of a criminal and ended up having to retire from the police force. Wasn't majorly hurt or anything like that, but was retired at 48 years old. She joined ActsOnThis.tv, mate. She listened to everything that we put out, really hustled her ass off. Ended up at 50, just 2 years later, landing a lead role in BBC's Granite Harbour. It's just been commissioned for a second season now. So she's a lead role in the first, a lead role in the second, and did it in 2 years. But she really used the police background to get work in police dramas effectively. So, there are military dramas out there, mate, and there's going to be stuff that you will just be completely at home with when it comes to, sort of armed combat or whatever, that, you would be able to play authentically way, way better than some actors playing to be a soldier, just pretending. So make sure you let casting directors know about your past and your journey, mate. Honestly, they'll freaking love that sort of stuff, without a doubt. Right, so this is the thing that I'm gonna take you guys through something that I just want some feedback on. So this is not for people who already have a membership to ActsOnThis.tv, but I need your help. If you already got a membership, I still need your help. If you've not got a membership, this is something that I'm creating to really just open the doors a bit wider to actors who want to try out our community. Like I said, I've been doing this for 13 years. We've got hundreds and hundreds of actors in our community now who join us on these live calls every week, who are premium members of the main website. But I know there are loads of actors out there who are either on the fence, because I get it, there's so much shit sold to actors in the industry. People don't know what the hell is good, what isn't. I mean, I would hope, being around for 13 years in this industry and the quality of the guests we get on Acts on This, by far, we get the best guests out of any service out there in the UK acting industry, by far. So that in itself, I would hope would give people confidence in the membership. But equally, I know times financially are pretty hard. Membership's dirt cheap. Membership's as cheap as £5.63 a week. If you get an annual membership, it's proper cheap considering people, are charging actors rip-off prices like 60 quid for a 2-hour workshop these days. But I want to make it a no-brainer for people. And I thought, you know what, right now, especially like, in 2023 when times are not great, like particularly not great financially for quite a lot of people, I thought, you know what, I want to create like a pay-what-you-can bundle of coaching. So it's not a membership. I'm never going to make the membership cheaper than it is. It's ridiculous value as it is. But I thought, you know what, it's kind of like an opener, a risk-free way for people to try out actsonthis.tv. I thought, I wonder if we bundle together 5 top features. So 5 of my favourite calls of the past sort of 6 months to a year. And I literally then just let actors pay what they can. There's got to be a minimum price on it because it costs me money to host these on the website and to set people's accounts up and stuff. But I can make it dirt cheap. But I just wanted people's feedback on this as an idea. And if you think it's something that, if you weren't a member, if it's something that you would enjoy, if you are not a member, it's something that you might consider now. If you go over, I'll share my screen now. If we're going to go over to actsonthis.tv/pay what you can, and I'll just show you the features that I've chosen and let me know what you think of these. If you're a member, you probably will have been on these features. And like I say, this is not for members because you've already got access to all this stuff as part of your membership. If you already are a member, don't buy this, even though it's like going to be like pennies. Just because you've already got it. This is already part of your membership. This is for people who want to try the membership out, basically completely risk-free. So this is at actsonthis.tv/pay what you can. And what I've done, these are the 5 features that I've chosen. And let me know if you are a member, if you think these are decent features. So the first one I've chosen is our latest showreel surgery session with, in my opinion, the best showreel producer in the UK, Chris Stone. Because your showreel as an actor is so freaking important. It's the cornerstone of your career. It's the thing that can land you auditions literally while you are sleeping. I thought this is kind of like the first thing that actors are going to need to get right before they start on the agent hunt, before they start sending stuff out to casting directors. Because if agents and casting directors can't see you act and can't see you act well in a well-produced showreel, you're not really going to get much further than them opening your email. I mean, that's literally it. So the first session, that's like literally a 2.5-hour session on how to create a showreel that will land you auditions on autopilot. Next up, we had recently, this is a really recent session. For those looking for a London agent, we had Helen Kelly, who is one of the lead agents at International Artist Management in London. It was a wicked, wicked session, this, where we broke down the agency, we broke down applying for representation, not just with Helen, but with any kind of London agent, getting the right approach. We looked at 3 of Helen's clients, including Michelle Jerram, who I just spoke about, Mark, the actress, policewoman turned actress now, who's starring in BBC's Granite Harbour. It's a 2-hour session with Helen. It was absolutely incredible and just applies really to any kind of agent hunt. If you are applying to agents, this is how you would apply. Like literally, like get it right first time, make that great impression. Then I've got a feature with Peter Hunt, head of Hollyoaks casting. This is often a show that people will land their first TV job on. Peter did a session with me with the most definitive session on landing a TV role in Hollyoaks, or any serial drama, really. You can approach most serial dramas this way. So that was the third feature. That was like a 2-hour feature with Peter Hunt, one of the nicest guys in the world. I'm going to be running a seminar with Peter at Actors Pro Expo North, by the way, in October. I'll talk about that in a bit because hopefully I'll see some members there. It's a great expo that Actors Pro Expo are doing in Manchester on the 28th of October. I'm going to host a little after party as well at the Theatre 53-2 for people who come along to that. Fourth feature, I thought Ruth Carney's amazing. She has just directed the latest season of Brassic. She's also directed some incredible stuff in the past as well. Death in Paradise. She's done Casualty, all the soaps like Emmerdale. She's done Father Brown. I can't remember but she's just started a brand new drama today as well. I noticed on her Twitter. She just started a brand new big TV show. And Ruth's always on the lookout for new talent. She's one of the loveliest directors who will just give people a chance. She's like, listen, like if you've done nothing, it's all right. As long as you're good, as long as your showreel's banging, I will give you an opportunity. So that was a great session on how you get on a TV director's casting radar, not just a casting director's radar, because it's the directors who ultimately have the say over who is cast, not the casting director. And then the fifth session, this is probably the most one of the best podcasts, at least one of the most sort of moving podcasts that I've ever recorded for actsonthis.tv, with Oscar-winning writer and actress Rachel Shenton. This is a 2.5-hour deep dive into what it's like to really win an Oscar, and also her entire journey from Hollyoaks to Hollywood and everything in between. So there's 5 sessions there. It's over 10 hours of coaching, and I'm just letting actors have it basically for whatever price they want. They can pay more for it than I've set it at. I've currently set it. It's ridiculously cheap. I was thinking, right, roughly like less than £1.50 a feature. I've set it at £7. Is that a good price for people? A membership to Acts on This is £27, and to get access to those 5 features, normally you would have had to have been a member for 5 months. So it's like whatever that is, like £150. They can literally go on here. It says £7 there. If they're generous, they can pump that up a little bit and go, all right, I'll make it like, £8 or whatever. They can put their own price in there, but the minimum I've put on there is £7. Do you think that is fair? They're getting 10.5 hours of what I think is some of the best material I have ever produced for actsonthis.tv. They get to keep it forever, and I put a minimum price on it as £7. So I just wanted some feedback. Dead honest, if you're like, no, you should charge less, I'm totally okay with that. But I didn't want to make it... people don't respect it if you go, oh, right, it's £1. I mean, that's a bit insane, isn't it? The value there is off the chart, to be honest with you. It's a good... The actual value of it in terms of what I would pay for that kind of coaching of 5 of the biggest names of the industry, I'd pay a couple £100 for that, if not more. But yeah, actsonthis.tv, I've put the link on the bottom there. If you're not a member, I've literally just told people about it now. I've not even launched this yet. It is available for it if you want to be one of the first people to get on it. actsonthis.tv/pay what you can. If you're watching this live and you go and grab it, then you'll be doing me a favour, because I can test that it all works by the end of this broadcast. I'll be like, yes, I've actually set it up correctly. There are so many moving parts when you're setting up products like this to put out there. But yeah, Terry says that's a decent price. Considering a casting notes, a workshop can be £60 for 2 hours. That's a steal, says Alex. Josh says well worth it. Hell yes, says Zoe. I think it's right. I was just like, look, I just think it's enough for people to go, right, I'm going to watch it. I think if I charged any less for it, people might be like, oh, I'm just actually not even like... you get excited, you buy some, and then you don't even watch it. The amount of like ebooks and things that I've bought that have been like a £5, and I've just gone, you don't respect it. I know £7 isn't much of a jump up from a £5, but it just feels a little bit more like, right, I'm going to actually watch some of this stuff, because ultimately the whole point of Acts on This is for people to go and act on stuff. I need them to feel there's at least a little bit of skin in the game, so they watch the features and then realise where they're going wrong. As soon as people watch even the showreel one, they'll be like, shit, like this has just changed the game for them, because people just do not think about this kind of stuff. They don't think about the business of this business enough in their acting career. They go, I'm going to an acting class, I've got an agent, I'm going to be discovered. No, you're not. No one's coming to save you. Think like that if you want, but I guarantee you those actors who think like that just do not work. Gone are the days when your role as an actor, your job description is just to act. It's just not your job anymore. Your job as an actor is to be a marketeer. It's to be an engineer to a certain extent. You've got to be good at the kit. If you can shoot your self-tapes, you've got to be decent at lighting. You've got to understand sound. You've got to understand editing. You've got to produce your own work. You've got to be a scriptwriter to a certain extent. The days where an actor just turns up on set are gone. Like it's just not the case anymore. And when your agent is looking after maybe 80 people, and we've said this before, across a 40-hour work week, that's 30 minutes they can put into your career every working week, and that equates to 6 minutes per day. So if you are resting your laurels on somebody else who can never be as invested in your career as you, they can never want success for you more than you, if you're allowing them and your entire career, your happiness, your fulfillment, and your existence to fall into the fate of 6 minutes of their time a day, crack on. But I guarantee you're going to be fucking miserable. So you've got to, sort your own career out now. Take control. So I just think that bundle will really help. But yeah, actsonthis.tv / Pay what you can. Let me know. Yeah, if you do grab that, drop me a tweet, take a screenshot. I would love to know what you think of that. But I just thought it's nice, nice way for people to have a totally risk-free look at the community that we have here. Alex says you've got to be an admin as well. Yes, you do, Alex. You've got to be on invoices. You've got to be able to sort your tax out, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it's a different game nowadays. Sandra says, I think that's a good price. Definitely worth it. Thanks, Sandra. Wicked. Well, that's that. That is good. So, this Thursday, we're doing something a little bit different. I've not got a trailer for this yet because I'm not recording it with these people until 7 p.m. tomorrow. But let me bring up a little picture on screen now. This Thursday night, 7:30, we will be joined by Oscar-winning duo Rachel Shenton and Chris Overton. They won an Oscar for the short film The Silent Child back in 2018. They've gone on to create incredible films since. But we're not talking about films Thursday night. We're talking about this, Gladstone Girls. This is their brand new podcast drama, okay? It's set in the Potteries in Stoke. It's incredibly charming. It's kind of like a cross between... try to think what's a cross between. Clocking Off. Remember Clocking Off from the late 90s, early 2000s? And Dinner Ladies. It's a cross between those two. That's a really good way to describe it, actually. But we're going to be talking all about voice acting and audio drama, effectively. I'm not even calling it radio drama anymore because it's not. It's distributed in so many different ways now. You will find audio dramas exclusively on Audible. Amazon will buy them, distribute them on Audible, on Spotify, on these different platforms. They're not radio dramas anymore. You won't listen to them necessarily on the radio. But the reason I wanted to talk about this stuff, we've also got the producer, Bryony Polizzi, as well. Bryony's been on before on a few projects. She was on last time with Ross White when they just produced the film Roy. And then the boys, Ross and Tom, went on to produce another film that won a BAFTA and an Oscar this year. So Bryony's produced some work with some incredible people. But yeah, Bryony will be on this call as well. Bryony, Rachel, and Chris. And why we wanted to talk about it, is because I know there's a lot of actors, and we're so big in the acting community about creating your own work, getting out your comfort zone, shooting stuff yourself. But I know there are still people who are holding themselves back because they are allowing fear to dress itself up as practicality, and they're convincing themselves that they don't understand the tech. They're like, oh, but you know what? With video, I've got to have a camera, I've got to edit it, I've got to color grade it, I need all these fancy locations, all this fancy costume. And I'm like, right, okay, well, I want to suffocate all that nonsense and go, well, hang on a minute. Well, why don't we look at stripping it right back and we do it audio only? So you write an audio drama, a podcast drama. These episodes of Gladstone Girls are between 5 and 8 minutes long. They're not huge episodes, but it's an incredible drama. I play a role in episodes 5 and 6 of it, but they've got some brilliant names in it. Anna Madeley's in it. Thingy's in it. Adrian. Oh God, what's his second name? Harry Potter's dad. Adrian Rawlins. I think it's that, isn't it? I was too starstruck when I met him. I was like, oh my God, you're Harry Potter's dad. It is Adrian Rawlin, isn't it? Just someone Google it for me. Let me know how you spell his name. Rawlin? Or, it is, isn't it? Anyway, he's a total legend. Got some really great names in it. Rachel's in it herself. Chris directed it. Bryony produced it. But I'm just like, look, there are people in our community. I know there's people watching this right now who have ideas. You have someone on here now watching this or listening to this has got an idea in their head for something, a great story, something that they want to tell. And they might have pictured it so far as a short film, as a feature film, as a web series, as a 3-part drama, a 6-part drama, but they're so frightened of the gargantuan task that is shooting something that if they're not careful, they're going to die with that idea and it's just going to go at the grave with them. And I'm like, audio is there's so many benefits to it. One, it's more popular than ever. Think of how many podcasts you listen to. You might be listening to this audio right now on the Acts on This TV audio experience as a podcast. But I think where you've listened to audio this week, I'm never, when I'm getting my steps in, Adrian Rawlins. Yes, I knew it was. I'm so bad with names. But yeah, think where you've listened to audio this week. When I'm getting my steps in every day, I'm never without a podcast in. On the way to the gym in the morning, podcasting. On the way home from the gym, podcasting. Doing stuff at my desk, podcast playing. Not mine. Don't just listen to Acts on This stuff. But we're always listening to audio, so it's more popular than ever. So that's a great reason to record an audio drama. And then there's film festivals now that are accepting audio dramas, by the way, in top categories. Like one of the biggest the Tribeca Film Festival, arguably one of the biggest film festivals on earth, now has an audio category as well. So it's becoming more and more kind of celebrated in that sense. But the biggest thing for me is it requires like such a tiny budget. When you can literally write an audio drama and you can set it anywhere. You can set it on the moon, on Mars, wherever. You don't need that location. So go and shoot a video-based film on Mars. That's going to cost you a fair amount of money. And I don't know many actors who are going to be up for the trip, to be honest, regardless of what you're going to pay them. I wouldn't go. I would not go. Even for the lead role, I'm not going to Mars. But you can set it on Mars if you want. You don't need the set. You don't need the costume. You don't need all the fancy props. You don't need anything by your imagination. So it's ridiculously cheap. You can literally record an audio drama in your wardrobe with a £100 microphone. If you can get some of your mates together, you can write a decent script. And then obviously, yes, you've got to go into some editing software, add sound effects, but that's fun. And there's so many sound effects you can download for free. You can create sound effects yourself, very, very cheaply if you're recording, I don't know, somebody walking down a gravel path. Well, just go and get a litter tray, put some gravel in it and stamp some boots in it next to a microphone. Like, you can get really creative and actually have fun. The reason why we got into this industry in the first place, by creating great audio drama. So that's what we're going to be talking about Thursday. I've never, ever done a session on it, ever in 13 years. I thought, why have I not done this before? We're going to be looking at voice acting, sort of the technique behind that, the team's entire creative process, why they chose audio right now, how Rachel came up with the idea, how she wrote the scripts, how post-production has gone. We're just going to try and walk you through as much as we can. So start thinking of your questions now, that you need answering, and we'll try and, answer as many as we can this coming Thursday night. It's going to be 7:30 p.m. I always say till 9 o'clock, but we always run over. There will be 3 guests, so hopefully we'll have enough time to hear from all of them. But yeah, Rachel, Chris, and Bryony will be with us. I wonder if I should just say, can you get Harry Potter's dad on as well? I'm sure Adrian was such a lovely guy. He was there. I only did 2 days on the drama, on the radio drama. I play a guy called David. He's a radio presenter, ironically, basically playing myself. But he was so nice, incredibly gracious. So I don't know, maybe we get David on. Definitely. What's this saying? What you're saying here, Zoe? Is this maybe an idea with my feature film, as I'm currently being blanked by my cameraman? What's going on there? What's happening there, Zoe? Well, yeah, honestly, I just think it just makes so much sense. There's just so much opportunity when it comes to audio, because people love doing multitasking these days. But I walk down the street and the amount of people I see with earphones in is honestly probably 7 out of 10 people I walk past in central Manchester are walking down the street with AirPods in or Beats on. Everybody's listening to something. Clue says, I totally agree. Got to make your own stuff. My podcast, Make It Work, is about artists making their own work. Clue, didn't even know you had one. That's amazing, though. Put a link in the chat if you want. Sounds like a great podcast. Definitely. Alex says, this is literally me right now. I just don't know how to make it into a theatre or screen piece due to the logistics of the idea. Bobby gave me a good idea to release it as an audio drama first to build an audience, and then maybe make it into a stage show once I have a big enough following. Yeah, Alex, honestly, it's a great sort of gateway into making your own stuff. And I'm all just about suffocating people's excuses of going, come on, right, there's another excuse why you can't do it. Well, actually, with audio, you don't have many excuses, bar, you just haven't written it or can't be asked. You don't truly want to make it. There's a lot of people who are like, I really want to make this, I've got this great idea. If you really wanted to make it, you would find a way. If you don't really want to make it, you'll find an excuse. Tom says, I've written Haunting is an Education. Is that the title of it, Tom? Based on my adult education, as it's very eerie. Oh, your adult education building as it's very eerie. I thought Tom, I just thought you meant your adult education was eerie, because I was going to be like, what you studying, mate? Paranormal activity. But yeah, hopefully, I just think it's gonna be a really good session. So yeah, let me know if you've got any questions or topics of discussion you would like me to cover on that training on Thursday night. If you're here now live, put them in the Facebook chat, and I will certainly try and get the the questions answered for you on Thursday. I say Rachel and Chris have got obviously some incredible experience with the Oscar for The Silent Child. Bryony has produced some amazing stuff as well, so it's like a bit of a gift having the full team. But the first time Chris has been on Acts on this as well. Bryony's been on before, and Rachel's been on a few times. But Chris has got a wealth of experience, and he's going to be making his Acts on this debut on Thursday. And Zoe Arch, Josh says if you need a new cameraman, he knows a lad who's a good friend of his from uni who knows his camera stuff. So we can always find you a new cameraman, I am sure. So they're the main topics that I wanted to cover tonight. Yeah, the recap on the Andrew Dowbiggin session from last week. Do go and watch that if you've not seen it or listened to it yet. It's just going to really pump you up. It'll give you that boost that you need to just keep going. If you feel like shit this week, and maybe you had quite a lot of no's last week or whatever, you're not hearing from people, go and just listen to that session or watch that session back. It's going to give you that little impetus to just keep on going. Second thing was the Pay What You Can bundle. actonthis.tv/pay what you can if you want to get your hands on that. I don't know how long it's going to be available for, to be honest with you. It's just a test. I'm just going to leave it up for the next 7 days, see what happens. It won't be available forever. Can't leave it up forever. But it's just something that I just thought I would just try out now, just whilst we're in, a bit of a weird time economically. So there's that. And then, this Thursday night, this session with Chris, Rach, and Bryony. So we'll do what have we got left? Like 20 minutes. Let's do some Q&A for 20 minutes. I can cover any topics that you guys want to cover. Let's make this as valuable as possible. If you've got a question, put it in the chat on Facebook. I will happily cover anything that you think I can possibly help you with. Stephen says, sounds very interesting. I've written a full feature film script. Wow. About a true life serial killer. I wonder if it'd help get it promoted. What you mean is it? What would you do? What do you mean? Record that, Stephen, as an audio drama, as opposed to having to film it or anything like that. We've got a great session just talking. It's quite morbid, isn't it? Talking to serial killers. But we've got a great session coming up for you guys. It's a bit of a way off now. I think it's just the start of October, but Lewis Arnold is going to be back with us. He's got a brand new drama coming out called The Long Shadow. It just stars, just a whole host of just incredible people. And it's based on Peter Sutcliffe, the Yorkshire Ripper, and the whole hunt for him basically. It doesn't really star one person. The cast. Let me just get up. Who's in The Long Shadow? I was looking before and I was like, wow, it's just who's who of English brilliant actors, basically. The Long Shadow. Let's have a look. Because you've got people like Danny Mays in it. I think Robert Glenister's in it. But we're going to do a round table, by the way. Yeah, my whole point was Lewis is coming back on, but he's going to bring loads of cast on with him as well. So Lee Ingleby's in it. Chris Hitchens in it. David Morrissey's in it. Jack Deem. Steve Waddington, Toby Jones. God, it's just so many incredible people here. Stephen Tompkinson, John Henshaw, Charlie Webb's in it. Charlie from Emmerdale. Yeah, that's interesting. She plays WPC Anna Lawson. Who else have we got? Adam Long, I know, great actor. Danny Mays, yeah. Jill Halfpenny. God, it's literally. As I say, it's a real ensemble piece. There isn't one star of this show, but I just know Lewis. Yeah, Lewis phoned me the other day. I was like, "Mate, come on, let's do something for The Long Shadow," and we're going to do a round table. It's going to be live. It'll be the first round table we've done live in a while, where we've got cast and crew on. But that's going to be something that's going to be taking place, in early August. You don't want to miss that one. And Lewis is also going to come around and record a podcast with me on his own very soon, because he's not done a podcast for Acts on this for podcast for years. Podcast probably for 7 or 8 years. When he was directing Broadchurch, I think was the last time I had him on. One of the best directors in the country by far. Going to go on to just do incredible stuff. So that'll be a decent chat as well. Let's have a look. What are you saying here, Alex? Will you be in my audio drama, Ross? Yeah, I'll be in it, mate. If I can. If I've got time, yeah, definitely. Because that's the thing with audio. It's quick. It's quick, man. It's not like you're going, Ross, will you come and film for 3 days, sit around, get this costume, sit in the cold, sit on location, I'll give you a biscuit. Audio drama's just great. It's really lovely to observe as well. When we were recording Gladstone Girls, you could hear, you could just sit in the studio and just hear everybody else recording as well. You don't often get a chance to do that on set sometimes. So yeah, Alex, if you write it and get it sorted, we'll leverage the entire Acts on This community for you, and we'll all come out for a day and record it for you. I don't see why not at all. Liz Thompson's in the house. How you doing, mate? So the Andrew one was ace. What a lovely guy. He's really funny, down to earth. Yeah, Andrew Dowbiggin. I just played a little trailer out for it before, Liz, of what people have missed. But yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed that. I just thought it was inspirational. Just a feel good session where hopefully people will leave it going, right, I'm just gonna give it another crack, because like I say, you just don't know. He got 5 seasons of The Bay by not getting the job he went for initially. If you'd have told him not getting the job would have been the best thing that ever happened to him, he'd have been like, no, mate, I don't believe it. But that is actually the truth. So yeah. You will need a lot of the Acts on This community for your radio drama, Alex, but we'll do it, mate. We'll all do it. Zoe's got a question. What you're saying is, Zoe, when is the best time to get self-employed? Now I have an agent. I'm worried if I leave it too late and book something, it'll be a rush to get everything sorted with HMRC, but then I don't want to set up self-employed and then nothing come up for a while. The best time to get self-employed is now, Zoe, anytime. You get a year, don't worry. So from being set up as self-employed, HMRC give you a 12-month grace period. So what you could do, you could technically, if you wanted, wait until you do earn some money, and then you have a 12-month grace period to actually get self-employed and pay the tax on that. But my whole point for actors and being self-employed is get set up before you earn a penny, because you can start offsetting and accumulating losses, which means when you do get your first job, Zoe, you're going to pay no tax on it. If you pay for your Acts on This membership, that's going to cost people anywhere up to, if people join today, it's £279 a year. It's still a steal. It's £5.63 a week for the best career coaching in the industry, bar none. It's 0.02% of a drama school degree, which you pay 55 grand for, and basically gets you nowhere. Just my little rant there. But yeah, you could offset that 279 quid along with maybe your spotlight, which is probably another 150 quid a year, with some headshots that might be 200 quid, with the showreel scene that might be 400 quid. You can easily, in this industry, in your first year of being a professional actor, rack up a grand's worth of losses. And if you're not registered as self-employed, they just go to waste. So if you register as self-employed for £150 with Glyn, I did a session with Glyn Jelly, in my opinion, the best actors accountant in the industry. That's on actsonthis.tv. It's in the members area for people who are like, who the hell's Glyn Jelly? He's an absolute legend. He changed my career financially, like in huge ways, because I just used to struggle with keeping on top of tax. My old accountant, to be honest, was absolute dog poo. And the last time, the straw that broke the camel's back with my old accountant is they submitted my accounts late. The only time in 10 years they'd submitted them late. And it's because my old accountant had sold his business to this new conglomerate, and they were shit. So I was looking for a new accountant. I found Glyn at Summit Chartered Accountants. He just deals pretty much exclusively with people in the industry. He's based in Media City, near the BBC, looks after some of the biggest production companies in the game, some of the biggest actors in the game, really knows his stuff, and he will set people up. If you're an Acts on This member and you give him a bell and tell him you've Acts on This has sent you, he'll set you up as self-employed for 150 quid or thereabouts. It's ridiculously cheap. And then what you do, if you then submit in your first year of accounts, which is included in that cost, I think so, £1,000 worth of losses, then you would normally pay 20% tax. So if you earn £1,000 the following year, then you would pay 200 quid tax on that. Now, yes, Glyn has cost you 150 quid, but you've offset £1,000 worth of losses. So you actually don't pay any tax and you end up 50 quid better off. So actors are just leaving money on the table if they're not accumulating losses that they can then offset against future profits. So I would, if you're serious, Zoe, about making this your career, and also it's good for your internal psychology. When you set up as self-employed and you're like, I am now my own business and I'm taking this seriously, you believe more in yourself. It's a little vote almost for your identity as an actor. It's like another vote that you've chalked up to go, this is my life, my career, I'm taking it seriously, I'm not dossing around, I'm not playing, I'm not dabbling, I'm all in. So you work harder, you hustle more. So I just think it's a great thing to do. It'll cost you 150 quid, yes, but start offsetting all these losses, and then when you do start working, you won't pay tax. Well, you will obviously after you've offset all the losses, but you will pay less tax if you register now. So that is my advice for every actor in the industry, wherever you're at. If you are like, now I am set, I'm a professional, this is what I want to do, I'm not mucking around, then prove it to yourself. and actually, set yourself up as a business. Because if you were doing anything else, if someone was like, right, I'm going to set up a cupcake business, I don't know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, you probably wouldn't think twice about going, well, you know what, I'm going to have to, I have to do things by the book, I have to do things properly through HMRC. You'd probably go and do that for some other business. But because you are your own business, actors are like, oh, I'll do it when I earn money. Well, you're probably never going to earn money until you start actually telling yourself you're doing this properly and you're going to earn money. So yeah, any times though. But once you've earned some money, I mean, if you did want to put it off, you get a year's grace from HMRC anyway. So it's not like I have to declare it now. Like, I just think it's worth setting up now so that you know where you're at and you've done it in plenty of time. Let's have a look. Tom said he's put up a post in the Facebook group, says looking for a new showreel scenes. So if anyone else is looking for shooting some new showreel scenes, Tom's looking to do some comedy and awesome drama. Tom Housden, so check out in the Facebook group. The thing with showreel scenes, Tom, as well, this goes to people who you might end up working with, Tom, or people who might want to work with you. Always play casting director when you're looking, like properly, when you're looking for showreel partners. The worst thing you could do, Tom, is go, okay, I'm just going to hook up with the first person who says that they want to share the price of a showreel scene with me because I'll just, I'll save money. You've really got to think about the scene that you want to produce. And then when you ask people if they want to work with you, they should give you their showreel. And you want to then watch that properly and see if they would actually suit the other character in the scene. If their casting type is contrasting to yours, don't play opposite a character with the same casting type as you. It's pointless. You're just promoting the other person. And likewise, before anybody suggests, oh, I'll work with you, make sure you watch the person who's saying they want to shoot a showreel scene. Watch their showreel. Works. You've got to cast each other in a way, and make sure that it's the right fit. Because professionally shot showreel scenes from someone like Chris Stone, who I think the best in the business. They're really expensive, like 450 quid. That's not cheap. I mean, it's well worth that if you get it right, but you don't want to come away from that process thinking, fuck, the actor that I chosen was just not very good. I just chose them because they were the first person who would share the scene with me and I just wanted to get it, split the cost. So be careful, Tom. But if people want to work with Tom, check him out in the Acts on This Facebook group. If you're not part of the Acts on This Facebook group, by the way, what are you doing? Facebook.com/groups/Act on This TV. It's a public group. It's not just for members only. We do have a private community on actsonthis.tv on inside the membership that's just for members. But the group on Facebook is public. By all means, join that. There's 10,000 actors in that group, and you can get support daily. Ask questions. I post everything that's going on around the actsonthis.tv website and community on there as well. It's funny sometimes people join the group and then I'll tag everybody in a post going, guys, just let you know the Facebook in the Facebook group, just to let you know the member only session this week for members of actsonthis.tv is this guest. We're gonna be covering this, blah 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 blah. And then I get people messaging me going, can you stop tagging me and stuff? I'm like, mate, you joined the group that's called actsonthis.tv, the TV Actors Network. The whole point of the group is to keep you in the loop with what's going on this website, you dickhead. Like, if you don't, why did you join it? If you don't want to be kept up to date with what's going on the website. So it's funny. People call me all kinds of things, It's funny, the amount of abusive messages I've got from people who have been in that group and then I've tagged them in a post, the whole point of the group, and they've called me all kinds of things on direct messages. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why did you join in the first place, you mentalist? But so what happens when you put your head above the parapet, folks? If you're going to put yourself on the internet, be prepared to take some shit from people, because the internet can be a dark place when you tag someone in a post on Facebook they don't want to be tagged in. Right. What else have we got here? Just seeing you on what's this, John? Just seeing you all on just want to wish you a great night and hope everyone good. Oh, right. John's just putting some positivity out there. He just wants to wish everybody a great night and hope everyone's good. Cheers, John. Likewise, mate. Very nice comments. Let's have a look. Alex is doing some showreel stuff with Collective Media. A few days after posting, what's this, Alex? I felt proud when Collective Media contacted me last week to be in someone else's showreel scene as a junior doctor. A few days after posting a junior doctor self-tape on Twitter and Instagram. That's how it works, Alex. See what I mean? The senior, it's bang on your casting type, and they've it's come off for you. So so that's literally how it works. You just put that in front of casting directors, mate, and eventually they will hopefully have the same. You'll get the same result. Right, let's have a look. Anything else that I've not covered? What have we got? Only got 7 minutes left. We've got time to cover a couple more topics, though. Has anyone else got any burning questions? Anything that you're struggling with in your career? Anything that's confusing? A roadblock? Oh, hang on. My internet just went orange there. Is it all right? It's back to green. Any roadblocks coming up time and time again? Any sort of themes appearing in your acting career that you're like, fucking hell, I can't overcome this hurdle that keeps happening time and time again? I need to stop swearing, by the way, as well. I'm sorry about that. It's supposed to be it is after 9 o'clock, though, isn't it? I'm aware of that, actually. I don't know if that's a very good trait, to be honest. I should probably be a bit more less. What's the word? Less uncouth. I don't know what the opposite of that is. I should just be better, Ross. Potty mouth. Josh says, thinking it's time for a change agent wise. Let's have a look. But struggling to send that email saying I want a change. Oh, okay. So you mean just psychologically you're like, oh, okay, I'm struggling to actually put this change into action, because maybe, like most actors, you feel like you're cheating on your agent. You feel like you should just give it another week. All this kind of stuff. I've been there, Josh, and I think a lot of actors go through this when they feel in their heart they know something is off, or maybe they've just come at the end of the road with that relationship, which is just like any other relationship in your life. You do not stay with the first, very few people anyway, do not stay with the first boy or girl they ever get with. So if your first relationship at 15, most people are unlikely to marry that person and be with them for the rest of their life. It's the same with your agent. Your first agent is very, 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 very rarely, maybe 1% of cases, going to be the agent who you end up with. Most people in their career will go through anything from, 3 to 10 agent changes, to be honest, in a lengthy career. I know lots of actors who are working at the top of the game, but they've had many changes over the years. Rob Collier he talks about that on all the webinars we do with him. He just has never really settled for something that he didn't feel was really right. Now I think he's very happy with his agent, but in his earlier careers, even his earlier days of his career, even around like the Downton Abbey days, when he was shooting Downton a lot, I'm sure back then he'd ring me and we were swapping and changing agents and stuff, because he was just like, I'm not prepared to just settle for something. Settle for anything in order to say that I've got something. So if in your heart, sometimes your mind can want to talk you out of it, Josh, but there is no harm in sending your reel out, mate, and just putting the feelers out. It's people feel that it's going behind their agent's back, and it's not. Sometimes it's worth having a chat with your agent before you do something like that, just to see if you can reignite some kind of spark or some sort of energy together, and maybe get a plan going. But I've left an agent before. I've just known it was just time. Like, it's not really, it just does not feel like this is going anywhere. It's completely the norm in the industry to send stuff out while you're still with an agent. Like, everybody does that. That's just normal, and it's complete normal etiquette. Agents will not feed back to your current agent that you're with that you're looking around or anything like that. If you sign with a new agent, you just obviously give your agent notice of that, and that's just the way that it kind of works. Equally, I know lots of agents who have had to drop actors over the last couple of years because they've either been cutting back on their list because of everything that's happened since 2020, or sometimes they're just like, actually, you know what, I don't think I can get you in the rooms you want to get in. The relationship has just ran its course. So there's no harm in it, Josh. And even, you know what, I mean, I don't mind talking about this, but my agent Jane's just amazing, and Kat and Janine, everyone at Jane Hollywood's. But I basically once went into the office and said, I'm out, I'm leaving. And we had honestly, this is the truth. This is just how amazing they are, though. And we had a bottle of Prosecco, and it was kind of like bon voyage. It was a lovely relationship I had with that agent from the day that I signed. Nothing but love and support for each other. It was amazing. And I left, and then genuinely, like, it wasn't a knee-jerk reaction. I went away and really thought about it for a couple of weeks. And I thought, you know what? No, this isn't. I was doing this on a whim. It now doesn't feel right to leave. It genuinely. And I went back and was like, look, sort of tail between my legs. I think I might have made a rash decision here. Maybe the grass isn't greener, like, and maybe we should just give it a little bit more time. Because in the conversation when we were having the Prosecco, I realised how good the relationship was. And they were so gracious, and I wouldn't have expected them to even say, yeah, you can stay, because you were basically just telling me you were going to leave. And I stayed, and to this day, I'm still with that agent. I'm super, super, super happy. So you can even, send stuff out, Josh. The moral of that story is ultimately, meet agents. They can even say, yeah, I want to sign you. And you don't have to sign with them if you don't want to. But sometimes, you might want to just see if there are other avenues to explore. So it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one, isn't it, agents? But if you feel that that's what you need to do, explore it, Josh. There's a reason, because you'll come up with one or two answers. You will either conclude that you do need to leave, or you'll do what I did. You go, I should probably leave, and then when you leave, you go, probably shouldn't leave. Probably shouldn't leave. And then you'll find the answer, but you've got to sort of take some action in order to get that clarity, I think. Ben says, is there a private Facebook community, or is it the one on the website you mentioned? So yeah, so Ben, the Act on This, the private community in Act on This is away from Facebook. So if you're a member of actonthis.tv, which I think you are, the community is just here, mate. If you go into the members area, it's not on Facebook because people requested it not to be. People wanted to talk, and I won't actually stay in here long. But yeah, it's there. It's I'll come off that actually, just in case there's anything private in there. But the reason it's on the website and it's not on Facebook is people wanted to talk confidentially about agents and stuff, and they thought, well, I don't want to put it in a public group. Even if it's a private group, it's still technically public on Facebook. So yeah, we keep all of the private stuff on the community on actonthis.tv, and that's getting a massive, massive overhaul later this year. I thought it would have been ready by now, but it's not. We're going even deeper on it. People will have their own profiles on there. People will be able to DM each other on there. People will be able to post videos. People will post photographs. People will be able to hang out in live video rooms with each other as well. So you can actually, do self-tape reads for each other. There's lots of stuff coming inside that community for premium members. It's just not quite ready yet, but there'll be challenges in there. You'll be able to earn badges and prizes. Hopefully even merchandise. I want to start doing that, rewarding people for taking action. And, people like take action, get a job. Maybe you'll get a t-shirt, and that's on this t-shirt with some sort of cool just landed a job slogan on it. I don't know. There's loads of stuff that I've got planned for that, but it's just not quite ready. So it's quite a basic forum on there. It's basically like a Facebook feed at the moment, but it will get much more sophisticated later this year. So that will be just for premium members of actonthis.tv. Let's have a look. Have I missed anything here? There's lots of people just backing you up, Josh, going, if you feel it's time, then it often is. Di says she left her agent in March, sent a simple email saying, after some thought, I believe our partnership isn't working as well as either of us would like and feel it best to move on. Thanks for all the time you have spent subbing me for jobs, and all the best. And then she says, moving on has been brilliant. I've had more auditions in the last 6 weeks than 3 years before. So that was definitely the right decision, Di. Definitely. That's a great result. Sandra says she was literally scared to leave her former agent back then and didn't have an agent for more than a year. Now she's so happy with a new agent. Didn't think I could have such a good relationship with my agent, but she's just amazing. It goes all for a reason, isn't it? Robo says, is it possible to have the same amount of access to casting directors that agents have of shows you're interested in doing it yourself without an agent, or is it more advantageous to have an agent? It's always more, you're going to get more access to stuff if you have an agent, but there's so much you can do. It's the whole, everything that we preach on actonthis.tv, there's so much you can do off your own steam, off your own back. If you really understand the business side of the business, that's what we talk about on the member only Zoom calls that I host every single week, is like how you as just yourself, with or without an agent, can hustle more, can network more, can reach out to people. I bring on the best people in the industry every single week, literally to introduce you as members of Act on This to these people, to give you permission to reach out to them. Guests often give their email addresses out on every single session. They tell you how to write to them, what to put in your emails, what they like in show reels, what they don't. If you listen to that content and take action on it, great things will happen. Nate, who was a member who was on the call last week, just messaged me today to say he got he sent one email out after our session last week, and landed an audition for a self-tape for Coronation Street yesterday. No, today, it's Monday, isn't it? Yeah, of course. Because he did that. Not his agent. Yes, the self-tape went through his agent because the casting director went to his agent. But it was him who sent the email. It was in response to the email that he sent out. I think it was Corey. Or it could be, because I thought it was Sophie Flanagan, but she's left Corrie now, hasn't she? She's working with Kate Rhodes James, maybe. It could be for something big, actually, then. I don't know. I thought it was for serial drama. But regardless, doesn't matter. It's a TV audition that you got off his own back. So there's so much you can do if you're prepared to really understand the business of the business. Those actors, honestly, who sit at home waiting for their agent to spend 6 minutes on them a week, like I said at the start of this, expecting their life to change, are generally very sad, very unhappy, very unfulfilled and disillusioned. So you have to, unless you're incredibly famous, take a lot of your career into your own hands. Tyler, how you doing? Good to see you, dude. Let's see. Let's have a look. Ben said he switched agents. Best thing that he did. And he said, but was mainly following my friends. His school friends recently founded agency. Oh, okay. So you're following friends to another friend's agency, but it proved to me my previous agent wasn't up to scratch. There you go, man. It's good results. So thanks, folks. It's just gone 10 o'clock. We will wrap it up, but thank you so much for being here. Shout out, like I say, to everyone who's here live, but if you watch on the replay, massive thanks for joining us as well. If you're listening on the audio experience, huge shout out to you as well. To recap, atsonthis.tv/pay what you can. If you're not a member of atsonthis.tv, you basically want to get over 10 hours of some of the best acting career coaching I've ever produced for atsonthis.tv with some of the biggest names in the game, including top casting directors, Oscar winners, incredible agents, directors, showreel producers. Go to atsonthis.tv/pay what you can to check out that bundle. The price for that at the moment is a minimum of £7. It's dirt cheap. But it's just a way to introduce you to the world of atsonthis.tv without having to get a membership. All you members, you're amazing. You've got all access to all of those features anyway, inside your membership. But it's just a way to, for people to sort of try before they buy, I guess. If you are a member and you think that's a good thing to introduce your friends to, that would mean the world as well. If you could just send them to atsonthis.tv/pay what you can, they can at least test the community out before they come and join it. That would mean the world. And don't forget, Thursday night we'll be joined by Oscar winners Rachel Shenton, Chris Overton, and super producer Bryony Polizzi talking about their brand new audio drama, their podcast drama, Gladstone Girls. So we're going to be covering voice acting for the first time in 13 years. I've never done a session on voice acting for drama. I've done voice acting for cartoons before. We have some great guests on talking about that and animation, but never for audio drama. So it's going to be a good one. But thank you so much for being here. I'll play out. What should I play out? Let's play out. I've got a bit of. What should I play? Gary V. What should I play? A clip of Gary Vaynerchuk talking about getting yourself out there as an actor, as an incredible businessman, or the mashup of last week's session with Andrew Dowbiggin. First person to put an answer in the chat, I'll play out whichever one. For those people joining now, if you've joined late, you won't have seen either of these probably. But let me know. What should I play, Alex? Alex is saying yes. You want Gary V? Love Gary V. I met Gary V. He's an incredible. Gary V. Give you a little bit of background. Is an incredible entrepreneur, businessman. Owns a company called VaynerMedia. He produces huge marketing campaigns for the biggest brands in the world, works with a lot of actors, knows a lot of actors, and he's all about getting yourself out on social media. I met him in Indianapolis earlier this year. I grabbed literally like 2 minutes with him just to ask him if he was an actor in the 2023 world, what would he be doing right now to gain attention, to day trade attention, to get attention in order to, sort of transfer that, leverage it into paid acting work. And here's his answer. I think I've got it. Anyway, I've got it listed here. Hopefully this will link to the right video. But here's his answer, and I completely bloody agree. And actually, he goes one layer deeper than me. I always say you're only one audition away from changing your life. Gary says something slightly different in this clip. So I'll play this now. Have an amazing week, everyone. Hopefully I will see you Thursday night. atsonthis.tv/pay what you can. Like I said, if you want to go and get that bundle, and I will speak to you all soon. Love to you all. Bye for now.
Act on this TV Nation here at VCon 2023 with the main man himself, Mr. Gary V. Gary, you've been absolutely instrumental in helping me create this community in the UK for actors. Everyone watching this as an actor right now, they're all looking at getting more attention online, looking at sort of, make sure that people know they exist, casting directors in the industry, getting opportunities. If you were an actor, and I know you've spoken to loads over the years, in the 2023-2024 world, looking to get attention online, where would you be spending your time right now and why?
TikTok and YouTube Shorts, because short form video content is the lowest cost, lowest time pieces of content you can put out with the highest opportunity to get exposure.
Right.
Right? Think about it. Some people fall in love with an actor or an actress because of one scene. You can do a scene, right? And so I would just put myself out there over and over and over and over, get together with my improv crew, my acting friends, go on stage, whatever it takes, just to get clips and put them into those two platforms, because you're one post away from your career changing.
I love it. I always say you're always one audition away. That's literally it.
Auditions are hard. There's a lot of friction.
Yep.
Somebody else is making a subjective call. Social media is not subjective call. The world's making the decision, not one casting decision maker. You understand?
Yeah.
You're playing outside the system. That's why it's epic.
3, 2, 1.
Bye
Bye for now.